Hello, dear children. Today, let us begin with another interesting lesson that is titled as Pandora's Box. So, let us begin with it. When the world was first created, it was a very happy place of light, laughter, and enjoyment. People used to have no sadness or any kind of pain. They used to live the life the way they wished to. The sun shone every day. The sun was shining every day in the morning, and all the gods used to come down from the heaven to walk and talk with the human beings who live on this beautiful earth. One afternoon, there was a man who was named Epimetheus, and his wife Pandora was sitting outside. They were taking care of their flower garden when they saw God Mercury approaching. When God Mercury was coming towards them, they were trying to take care of their flower garden. He was bowed down by a dark wooden chest. A chest here means a very large and a very strong box that the god was carrying with him on his shoulders. He was looking very hot and tired. Pandora soon came out to get the feeling very tired god a very nice and tasty cool drink, while Epimetheus helped him lower the chest onto the ground. It was tied with golden cords. Golden cords refers to golden ropes. My friends, would you do me a great favor? Asked the god Mercury. It is so hot today and the box is really very heavy. May I leave it here while I go on an errand? Errand means a job which involves going somewhere to deliver or to take something. For this request by god Mercury, Epimetheus replied, "Of course you can." Epimetheus and the god heaved the chest indoors, which means they took the chest inside the house. Then god Mercury said, "No one under any circumstances or any urgency must open the box." So he says that no one must be allowed to open the chest which I am giving you all. "Don't worry," laughed Epimetheus and Pandora, and they waved the god off through the trees. So the god went away. All of a sudden, Pandora stopped still and frowned. Frown means she had a bad look or a sad look on her face. "Listen, Epimetheus," she said in a low voice. "I'm sure I heard someone whispering our names." Epimetheus and Pandora tried to open their ears and listen more harder. At first, they could hear nothing. But then, again they heard of a very far away sound, sounding as Epimetheus, Pandora, being called from outside. "It's our friends," cried Epimetheus happily. But Pandora was still confused. "No, Epimetheus, these aren't their voices I heard," she said calmly. "They must have been." Epimetheus laughed. "Come on now, let's go and see everyone." Epimetheus is interested in seeing who had tried to call out their names. "You go." Pandora demanded that somebody or Epimetheus should agree to go out and see. "I'd rather stay here for a while." Then Epimetheus shrugged. Shrugged meaning raised his shoulders and dropped to show them that they did not know anything about a topic. And also he tried to strode outside. Strode means taking long steps in order to reach the destination. As soon as he was gone, Pandora hurried over to the strange chest and waited. After a few seconds, she heard it again. Distant voices calling, "Pandora, Pandora." The voices were so low and whispery, whispery means not so audible, that Pandora wasn't sure about whether she's really hearing them or was it just her imagination. She went closer to the chest. She bent her ears towards it. And then, this time she was sure. The chest was calling to her, Pandora, Pandora. The voices were asking her something. Let us out, Pandora. The box answered, We are trapped. Trapped means keeping something in a dangerous place or in a bad situation. They were trapped in darkness. Please help us out to escape. Pandora jumped back with a start. Mercury had expressly forbidden or asked them not to open the chest. The voices sounded very sad and pitiful. Pandora was a kind-hearted girl, so she couldn't see the pain, how the box was asking her to open it. Pandora, they came again, and they said, Help us, we beg you. Pandora could no longer listen to such noises. Fastly, she knelt down, means she had a nail down, and then she worked to untie the golden knots. All the time, the whispering and the pleading voices were filling her ears. At last, the knots were untied, and the gleaming cords, means the shining cords, fell away. She took a deep breath and then she tried to open the lid. At once, Pandora thought that she had done a very terrible thing because God Mercury had asked nobody to open that box. The box had been crammed. Crammed means filled with things or people who are cruel. So, and he tells that it is evil. Thousands of tiny, brown, moth-like creatures that stung people with their wings and caused pain and misery wherever they went. This was what Pandora found in the box. I would like to repeat it again. Thousands of tiny, brown, moth-like creatures that stung people with their wings and caused pain and misery wherever they went is what Pandora found in the box. Now because of Pandora, all the evils were free. They flew up out of the chest in a great swarm. Swarm is a collective noun for the bees or for any sort of insects. And they fluttered. Fluttered means moving lightly and very quickly. They fluttered all over Pandora's skin. For the very first time, Pandora felt pain and regret within herself. She began to wail. Wail means to cry because she was sad that she did not respect the words of God Mercury. But she was too late in order to correct her mistake. She slammed the lid. She closed the lid with a very thudding sound and then she went back. Outside, Epimetheus heard his wife's cries and came running as fast as he could. The little creatures fluttered to sting and bite him before speeding off through the window into the world beyond. For the first time ever, Epimetheus began to shout at his wife. He got very angry on her. Pandora yelled back. She again said that, Why are you scolding me? And the couple realized that they were actually arguing. Let me out, interrupted a very high voice. Pandora and Epimetheus grabbed onto each other in panic. They were very afraid because of that high voice. The voice was again coming from the chest. Don't be afraid of me. Let me out and I can help you, came the voice. Who do you think is it? Or what do you think? Pandora whispered to Epimetheus, wide-eyed, which means she turned towards Epimetheus and looked on him with very huge eyes. Surely you can't do any more mischief than you already have done, he grumbled, or he said to himself. So Pandora opened Mercury's chest for the second time. Out of the deep, dark chest fluttered a single shining spirit like a butterfly. Its name was Hope. Pandora and Epimetheus sobbed with relief as she fluttered against their skin and soothed their stinging wounds. So the Hope butterfly was helpful for Pandora as well as Epimetheus. Then she was gone, dating out of the window or moving out of the window and into the beautiful world after all the evils. Luckily, Hope stayed with them ever since. This is extracted from a Greek myth. The message that we get from this lesson is hope for the best. Hope makes this world a very beautiful place to live in. Dear children, let us now move on into the question answers of this story. Oral questions. Question 1. Whom do you speak to when you feel disheartened? Answer. I usually speak to my mother or father when I feel disheartened. Question 2. God helps those who help themselves. What do you think about this message? Answer. We should always work hard instead of waiting for the God to help us. God also helps those who are willing to solve their problem through determination and hard work. Read and answer. Question 1. What warning did Mercury give to Epimetheus and Pandora? Answer. Mercury warned Epimetheus and Pandora not to open the box under any circumstances. Question 2. How did Epimetheus and Pandora get relief? Answer. Pandora and Epimetheus were relieved from a white spirit like a butterfly who fluttered against their skin and soothed their stinging wounds. Think and answer. Question 1. Why did Mercury warn Epimetheus and Pandora about the chest? Answer. Mercury warned Epimetheus and Pandora about the chest because there were evil spirits locked inside it, and hence he didn't want them to open it and be in trouble. Question 2. Why did Pandora and Epimetheus grab onto each other in panic? Answer. They did so because they went against the warning of God Mercury. Question 3. Pandora realized she had done a terrible thing. Question A. What does the terrible thing refer to? Answer. The terrible thing refers to the opening of the chest in spite of the warning. Question B. Do you agree that Pandora had done a terrible thing? Answer. Pandora had done a terrible mistake indeed. If she would not have opened the chest, then they would not have been wounded and the evil spirits would not have escaped. Question 4. How does hope help us? Answer. Hope helps us to have faith in others and in ourselves that things would be better. Question 5. What do you learn from this story? Answer. We should listen to our elders, and when our elders forbid us to do anything, we should never do it, as whatever they do or say is for our own betterment. Reference to context. Read the sentence below and answer the questions that follow. Surely you can't do any more mischief than you already have done. Question A. Who said these words and to whom? Answer. Epimetheus said these words to his wife Pandora. Question B. What was the mischief? Answer. Pandora had opened that chest that God Mercury had strictly asked her not to open. From the box had come out all the evils in the world. This was the mischief done by Pandora. Question C. Why does the speaker say these words? Answer. The speaker said these words because Pandora had already done a mischief of opening Mercury's box that released all the evils in the world. Now he hoped that opening the box again couldn't release anything worse than before. It might actually help them as the voice from the box promised. Question D. What happens next? Answer. Pandora opens the box again. Out from the box comes a single shining spirit fluttering like a butterfly. It was hope. Dear children, I hope you have understood this story. Thank you.